Hey, Jason, fantastic to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for making time out of a busy day to come and talk to me. We were just chatting about how your day's gone, and you've got a few more things to do after this as well. So I really appreciate that. And I'm really excited to hear you sharing some of what is actually making you so busy right now and what your business looks like and the journey that you've been on and where you see yourself going. So again, thank you so much for being on the show, and maybe just introduce yourself with who you are and what your business looks like right now.
Right now, flat out.
Yeah.
I'm Jason Brooker from Go For Real Health and Massage Clinic. We're in a country town in northeast Victoria, and I've been here for just on 3 years in this clinic. And so I'm a qualified remedial therapist, and I'm at the process of studying through bone therapy at the moment. So
fantastic.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, great. And how many clients a week do you see at the moment? Are you just working by yourself?
I'm working by myself, trying to find another therapist to come in at the moment, because we're trying to keep up with what we're doing. I was doing around between 20 and 25 clients a week, and I've dropped back to about 15 because I'm working in some other areas at the moment with essential oils, plus trying to get through the bone therapy at the same time. So fair bit on the plate.
Yeah, fantastic. And part of what I wanted to talk to you about today is that other part of your business that you just mentioned, which is the essential oil side of things. And I know that for a lot of massage therapists, essential oils are part of a treatment, or they can be. A lot of people use it already. But the thing I loved about your story, Jason, and what I know we've spoken about before, is how you use essential oils as a business tool, as well as something that gets great outcomes for clients. You're actually using it to grow your business as well. So I'd love it if we can dive a little bit into that, but maybe we'll actually loop around and come back to that in a minute. Let's first go back to where you started. Can you tell us a little bit about how you started the business? Because a lot of people who listen to this show in the early stages, or even if they're working through it, they're struggling to get some movement in their business. What was it like when you started? And I probably should make sure that our audience knows at this point that you were a client of ours. Probably must be about a year ago now, was it? Yeah. So we did work with
2 years.
2 years, just coming up to 2 years. Yeah.
2 years. February 2 years ago, I got in touch with Elise. Yeah. I'd completed my certificate 4 level in remedial and almost completed my diploma. And so I started the clinic wanting to kickstart as soon as I'd finished my diploma, and got a few clients in. We were doing 4, maybe 6 clients a week, which was only just enough to cover rent and a few things like that. It was a bit of a struggle. And then I went away for about 6 weeks to see my family in Tasmania. I came home and there was 5 new clinics that opened up in town with, they were Vietnamese, Chinese type clinics, and, or if you can call them that, being polite. And my clients didn't come back to me.
Yeah,
and that sort of really freaked me out. And that's when I met you guys. And within about 3 weeks, we were back up and going 6 to 8 clients a week, just through the first week or 2 of implementing the suggestions that you gave me. And from there, over the next 12 months, we grew quite rapidly in that time. But it was really touch and go for me. I thought I was going to have to close up the clinic. I thought I'd run out of money, basically, in what I was doing. Plus, I was paying off a brand new electric table to work with my clients and all of that sort of thing. So it really did we were in dire straits at that time.
Yeah, that was really tough. And I remember when you came on board and working with you about that. Is there something you could share about what you did at that time that got the most impact or the most results for you? What was it that you were actually doing specifically to get those new clients coming in?
So what I was doing, I went to Facebook, and I just joined every single buy, swap and sell page, every single page that was about selling products.
All the free groups, right?
All the free groups, all the ones that didn't cost any money to get into. And I just went onto every page and started putting ads up on the pages for different so-called specials that I had. But I just went on those pages, put in Facebook, shock tactics, funny things. It wasn't all just massage, what I put on my personal page. It was funny things to get people liking my page too, those sorts of things. And then I did a referral system with my clients as well, where I said, if you refer somebody to me, then we give you a bonus or an upsell. And that's where the doTERRA oils came in. I was able to give them like a wild orange bottle of oil to take home or something like that. It didn't really cost me that much money. Like a bottle of wild orange is like $3 or $4.
Right.
You give them that and they felt special. And because I made them feel special and I talked through with the clients what I did with every practice, every client that came in, I was explaining to them what I was doing and why I was massaging that part of their body to help with this part of their body. And just you've got to really make a connection with that client, and they go away and it's just like a movie. That was a cool movie and everyone talks about it. They go away and they go, he helped me out through this, and it just grew from there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And what I hear too is that you're really differentiating yourself from the other therapists that have opened up in the area.
Exactly.
That might not be as highly trained or as technically trained.
Yep.
Talking through with clients, this is why I'm treating this part of your body and this is what it means. That's really creating that point of difference, which is great. That's a really good way of what's the word? A really good way of counteracting what's happening there in your community.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Yep.
What about the essential oil side of things? Because I know this is something that happened after you'd worked with us. This is nothing we had anything to do with. But I do know you've shared more recently that you've pretty much doubled your income using the essential oils, the products. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. But it actually grew as something that I had no plan in growing originally. And I was introduced to the essential oils. A lady just turned up to my clinic, handed me a bottle of massage oil, and I just started using it on my clients. She came back. I set up a membership with the company just to use in the clinic, and I was using them on a consistent basis. And then about 6 or 7 months into using those oils, something happened in our family that cost us a lot of money. My wife's company had hit a bit of a barrier, and I needed to get some money in real quick. So I went out had the opportunity to set up a stall at a market garden type thing. I took the oils down there with me and started using them and showing people about massage. And within the first hour and a half, I'd sold 10 tubes of this massage oil and made $100 out of it. And I'd only made $60 out of doing massages in that hour and a half. And I went, this is weird. So I got back to the lady and she said, we can show you how to make a bit of a business from it. So I ran a few classes in my clinic with her support and with a few things. And within about 3 to 4 months, we had grown to quite a large turnover of product in the clients coming in and buying stuff that they can use at home. So it's not massage stuff for them, but it meant that everything that I was buying in my clinic now, the income from doTERRA covered the cost of those oils. So it wasn't costing my bottom line to use those oils. So then straight after Christmas that year, I went on advertising for people to come to the clinic, do classes, going to their places and doing classes, showing them how to use the oils. And last month, definitely earned more money from, in the last 3 months, I've earned more money from the doTERRA oils than I actually have here working in my clinic.
It's amazing, isn't it? What a fantastic story. And what I love about it is that it's all happening quite naturally for you. You haven't got this big picture of, oh, I want to be a millionaire selling this product or anything like that. Exactly. It's just literally the dovetail of essential oils with massage.
But you're helping so many families, and you're helping so many people with their health, and showing people how to go a chemical-free way, and people are just grabbing hold of it and going, yeah, I want that, and it's like, oh, I've got to get more stock in. Oh, hang on a minute, it's easier just for me to get you a membership. You buy it yourself straight off the line, and the company just gives you a bit of pocket money for doing that. And it's like, wow, this is so different to what I expected. So,
I love it because these sort of companies, they can be quite controversial. I know we have the Massage Business Support Network, and if we ever talk about product companies or MLM companies, people are so varied in their opinions. Some people love them, and some people literally just are very, they have very strong opinions either way about whether these companies are good or not.
And I'll be honest with you, I was very badly burnt by a company previous to this, and that's why I did not want to get involved with it. I just wanted to use the oils in my clinic. I wanted to use them here, and I wanted a chemical-free product that I could use on my clients that I knew that wasn't going to affect them.
Yeah.
The other side of the business wasn't really what appealed to me, because I was burnt by another company, and a coffee company that I was attracted to because I like a cup of coffee, and I wanted something that was healthy, and it came back and backfired on me because of products they had in their range, which I didn't align with, such as palm oil. And so I went, no, I don't want anything to do with it, and got away from it. And I said, I'll never get involved with another MLM company because of what happened there. This has just grown. It's simply grown because people have loved it, and I've gone, wow, I have now a way that I personally can go back to Tasmania this year at Christmas time and know that I have an income stream coming to cover the cost of my rent here, to cover the phone, the high caps machine, all of those things that are going to be turned off for 6 weeks. It's still getting covered, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's fantastic confidence, isn't it, and security in your business. And I think what I love about it is I think MLM to me is just another business model,
Yes.
And so what I sort of look at is really it's the individual company or the product that you have to know aligns with your business and with your values. And for massage, essential oils just seem to align absolutely perfectly.
Perfectly.
There's a couple of others as well as doTERRA. Like there's some other really nice ones, Young Living, others as well. And even other products that are health related. Like there's a bunch of other MLMs or product businesses that are health related as well. Where where this same kind of tactic would probably work the same. It doesn't have to be doTERRA specifically, but it's great to hear that you're doing so well with it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that I'm not here to push one product over another product. And if it is an MLM product, 9 times out of 10, it's actually a better quality product. So when you look at why they go down that line is because it's not competitive in your Woolworths or your Coles or those sort of places. Normally they're the cheap end products in those sort of places. The only way that they can get things into people's hands is going through that process of MLM. And what you've got to understand is it's just another way of building a business where they don't have to pay for advertising. If they were to pay for advertising, they then put into a store. But what the beauty of what I can see in doTERRA is you get around about 50% markup selling it off the shelf. And as you can probably see behind me, part of my display in my clinic is behind me here. I have a very small range of it here in the clinic, but I do carry it. and it's a 50% markup on what we have here. Most of your MLM products have only got a 15 to 20% markup. And that's why I do like this model of how they've built it. And that's why I've gone down this path. I've actually started stocking a little bit of it here.
Yeah. And the other thing I love about how you described how it works in your business for you now is that you've got the product in your clinic, you're using it on your clients, or I assume where it's appropriate, you're using it on your clients. So some of them will be just buying the retail, and then you've got the opportunity to, you know, offer an ongoing opportunity to them if they want it. But then you also mentioned that you're running classes and those kind of things. Can you talk about that a little bit more? Because there might be some people who are listening, therapists, whether they're using doTERRA or just whatever, who might be interested in those kind of classes to enhance their community, to continue educating them and to bring them in. What do they look like? Can you talk about that for a minute?
Okay, so basically what I do is on a Wednesday night, so tonight I've got a class here in the waiting room in the clinic, where I just invite people in and we just go through about 10 to 12 oils, explaining how we use them, why they would be beneficial in their home, and we just go through that process. Now, doTERRA actually have a tear sheet that you can purchase for $30, which has a tear sheet on exactly, all you do is you read it off that tear sheet. Then the next page is the product costing and list guide, and the next page is just how to become a member of the company, to be able to buy it for the exact same price as what we buy it for. So we just go through that tear sheet. What I am looking at doing in the new year is actually doing that in a like a YouTube or a video form, so that if you aren't confident enough to do that, then I'm happy to show that sort of a thing to let people to do that, because it's not about me and me building a business anymore, because we've already pretty much done that. It's more about getting that out there and helping other people to do the same thing, to get those benefits from it. So it's quite easy just to read off that sheet. Even for someone like myself that struggles to read a little bit, I can just read straight off that. There's also apps that you can use. There's an app that guides you on how to use the oils on an individual issue. So when a client comes in, fills out their client intake form, and they have an ailment, I will type that into the app. So that way then I'm not relying on my foggy brain to try and remember what oil to use. I just use that app to go through it. So when you do a class and someone fires a question at you and you go, "Oh, I don't know the answer," you've got the app, or you've got the book. There's quite a few books. I highly recommend a book called Modern Essentials. It's about $40 to $50 for the book, but it's like a Bible. It's a thick book, and it's got everything alphabetically laid out. You just open that up and you show that to your clients, so the clients know, oh, if I take this box of oils home from the class, how do I know what to use them on? I don't know the answers. Hey, the app's about $10, the book's about $40. And what I'm actually doing now is, if someone joins up with a large kit, I hand them the book. I get a dozen books in at a time. Yes, it's about $150, $200 for a dozen books. You can buy them in box of 6 at a time if you can't afford that. And you've got a book for yourself. You've still got 5 left. You hand them a book if they buy a bigger box, because you're going to make $50 to $100 on a join-up. The company actually pays you for setting up someone's membership between $50 and $100. So is it worth handing them a $23 book? And then they look at it and go, wow, I've got another 136 bottles of oil to buy to have all of these oils. They then come back and purchase. So it's a matter of talk through the class. Takes 25 minutes to talk through the class, and then make sure you've got your app there, make sure you've got the book there, and then when they start firing questions at you, they can see you typing out that into the app, and they say, oh, I can do that too. Yeah, it's worth getting the oils. And that's really how it's grown for me. in that aspect. So I've had classes where no one's turned up, and you pack up and go home at 7:15. I've been to classes where 42 people have turned up.
Wow.
And I've near pooped myself. So we go through that, and it's a huge growth thing for me to be able to do those classes. And I'm not expecting everybody to do those classes. The beauty of this is you can just be a user, you can be a sharer, or you can be a business builder. And there's ways that we can help people if they want to build a business to a point that they're covering the cost of the oils in their clinic. There's ways that I can show people to do that if they want to. It's not. I'm not trying to do a sales pitch here. I'm just trying to help people to do that.
For sure. And like, I know, coming back to the idea of running workshops or classes, I know that I love the idea of massage therapists running workshops and classes, whether it's about a product like this or just sharing knowledge of what they do. Because I see it really, it's like a marketing activity that gets people into the room. So it ticks a bunch of different boxes, you know. It's like there's the fact that you're seen as the expert because you're teaching people something. If you promote it out, if you're using Facebook ads or using some way of promoting it out to your community, even people that don't come, it raises your profile with them because they just see you running something. You're the expert, you know, you're running these classes. And I don't know if you do this or not, you didn't mention it, but you can, when people come in, actually give them a voucher or a bonus to be able to get something special for coming in for treatment. So if people who come to your class or your workshop haven't ever actually been a massage client, it's sort of like a loop, you know, it loops back around, invite people.
The amount of people that come to my classes on the oils that have now become clients in my clinic is just ridiculous.
Yeah, how good is that, right?
They come, they might buy $20 worth of oils at a class, but now they've been 5 and 6 times for a massage. So I've still made, $300 or $400 out of them through massages. So the daughter brings mum along. She buys 1 tube of the Ice Blue rub for her crook knee, but she's come in and had 6 or 7 massages from me and bought 1 more tube of Ice Blue from me.
So, perfect, right? That's great.
You know, but mum's come along and got massages here in the clinic. So it's not just getting them to come along to the classes for the oils, but whilst you're there, I don't know if you can see, I've got the labelling on my shirt. This is the shirt I wear to the class. One side is the doTERRA oils, the other side is my clinic, and I might talk about, this, you know, if we massage this into your ilio and your psoas, then your lower back's not going to be a problem. It's going to help with that lower back pain. And it's like, I've got lower back pain. Oh, so you can do massage too, can you? Oh yeah, here's a voucher, $5 off if you come up for a massage.
Yeah.
What's it cost me? $5. Well, no, because it's $85 for a massage. I've still made $80 out of you. Thank you very much for coming. So it's a way of marketing yourself, not only as an oil person, but massively encouraging. They've come to the waiting room of my clinic and they can stick their nose in and see the room all set up for the next client. So,
and I love that because it all just folds together really, really neatly.
Yep.
And it's great to see you doing that so well. And it seems like it has grown kind of quickly, but also very naturally, just because you're obviously getting out there, you're running these things regularly, and it has helped loop more people into your massage clinic, as well as providing another sale avenue, another part of your business, which is really fantastic. What if we go, like, looking back at everything that you've achieved over the last 3 years, you said, since you started, what would you say would be your biggest challenge over that time in business?
Cash flow. Cash flow would have to be not having that regular cash flow of being able to pay yourself to budget. If you're used to budgeting, I need this for the home repayments, I need this for the car repayments, I need this for food, and budgeting out. When you first start off and you have 4 clients this week, 6 clients the next week, 8 clients the next week, 2 clients the next week, it's like, oh, so that was a big struggle, and going, do I drive 27 kilometers to the clinic for 1 client?
Wow.
And then drive 27 kilometers back home again. And it's like, I'm better off trying to get everyone into one day than driving in every single day of the week to do 6 clients. It's trying to say, okay, let's focus on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll have Monday and Friday at home to do the housework and wash the towels and all that sort of thing. So that was probably in accounting. I dare not turn my camera around and show you what my desk looks like. I have these things everywhere on my off the FPOS machine. I've got to hone in on what I do with accounting side of it.
Look, a lot of those things are a struggle to everyone. And I literally tell every therapist that I speak to, if they're just starting out on their journey, the first thing you've got to outsource is bookkeeping. Like, it will just make your life so much easier. I know for me in my business, that was the very first thing. Got a bookkeeper, let them, the expert, deal with all that sort of stuff.
I'm married to an accountant and I outsource my accounting.
There you go. Smart man. Smart man. So what about then, if we were to look back at that whole journey, and 3 years, you've done a lot of different stuff there. And right now it sounds like you are on the journey quite well. You're doing a lot of good stuff. You seem to be living a fairly good life, keeping as busy as you want to keep at the moment with clients. What would you say, is there a time that was a single big achievement, a moment when you thought, oh, I'm so proud of this. This is something that I've done that's really awesome. What would that be?
Achieving the diploma in remedial massage was a big wow factor for me, because a bit of background, I was a fencing contractor, building colorbond fences and pool fencing and rural fencing. A health issue happened in my family, which made me focus on health, nutrition, massage, that sort of thing. So going from someone that really didn't have much of an education to doing a diploma, completing that, then getting up in front of people and presenting, for someone who pretty much failed at school. I just scraped through year 10 at school. So I'm not a highly educated person back in those days, but having a drive and a want and a need to do something, to complete a diploma, and then to be asked to present in front of people. And so that was a big plus. And I did my first sort of major presentation down in Melbourne, in Blackburn, in Melbourne, only a few weeks ago, helping out, running a class in front of some of the top doTERRA people. Like, we're talking people that are making 30, 40,000 a month from this company, asking me to present to them. And I did my first one, and it went really well from all the feedback I got. That was a big wow moment.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. Good on you, Jason. That's really good to hear.
Yeah, so they're probably the two big main things. That it's giving me more confidence to be able to start doing those things. And this is, they have now turned around to me and said, from that presentation, you've really got to go out there and help other people. And that's why I've said, yes, I'll come on and have a chat with you. So it's sort of to do that. Yeah.
Oh, good on you. What a fantastic story. And I love the humility that you've got there. It's like it's just happened over time, turning around from a fencing contractor, studying, and then the experience and the knowledge that you've got has led to these opportunities to speak to even more people and impact more lives. And I absolutely know that a lot of therapists that I speak to are in a place where they feel often anyway, they feel quite nervous about their own skills. And some people will say to me, oh no, I couldn't get up and speak to people, or I don't really like getting out there and telling people stuff. And I imagine that even the classes you've been running for a while now would have been a really great training ground for you to just get that practice of standing up in front of people or presenting yourself to people with confidence.
Exactly, yeah.
And a lot of the time it is just literally practice. If people do that regularly, run a few workshops, run a few classes, run like yoga classes or something. It doesn't have to be product presentations, but anything where you're standing up in front of people and you're teaching them something, or you're just literally behaving like the expert in the room. Anytime you do that, it builds that muscle of expertise, and you start to embody it, and you get better and better at it as you practice. So well done. Sounds really fantastic. Good on you. What do you see as the next thing? So what's your next steps into the future?
So the next thing, I'm looking at where we've got the clinic here. There's about 3 spare or vacant rooms at the moment. So I've got to talk quietly so the accountant wife's not listening in on this bit, but I'd like to try and get another therapist who's at least got high caps qualifications, and try and take over some of the clients, so that when we are away, because I've been encouraged now to travel and help support other people that aren't confident enough to do the classes yet, to sort of tailor in doing a class with them to teach them how to do the classes. So I'd like to sort of go away for a week, come home, work for 3 weeks, go away for a week, to get out and see Australia at the same time, and do it as a paid way of seeing Australia.
How fantastic.
So getting somebody into the clinic to work with the clients that, that ring up on a regular basis and want to come in. And then we'll just see where it goes from there. If that works, then maybe put on a trainee, someone that's, certificate 4 level or something like that, and build their confidence up to do the diploma and grow that way. So it's a matter of just hoping the room next door stays vacant for a little bit longer, because we actually do have an internal door to that room. And and then we can maybe, if we can afford the rent, to do that, and just slowly grow the business that way and get it growing more.
I love it. It sounds really, really fascinating. And I can hear the heart you've got for helping your community and even those other therapists, like mentoring them as they come through. So that's amazing. Well done, Jason. And thank you for coming on the podcast today, sharing a bit about your business and what you're doing there. If someone is interested in getting in touch, I know programs or products like doTERRA, if they just go to the doTERRA website and try and sign up, they probably can't, or if they do, they'll end up not having anyone to talk to. So I know if they want to get in touch, they probably should do it through you or one of their local people that is actually presenting it. If they want to get in touch with you, what's the best place to do that?
Okay, so I've got a Facebook page called Go for Real Health. So it's GO, the number 4, numerical 4, Real Health. So because I'm a shocking speller, I just put it Go for Real.
Awesome. And I'll put the link in the show notes too. If people want to click through, we'll make sure the link's there.
I don't recommend just going to the doTERRA page and signing up, because what they call an orphan. There's no one can actually help you to build your business. Speak to myself or yourself, and you can show them how to get in touch with me, I hope. And we can then educate you on how to use it in your clinic, what oils are great to start with a client, and to grow it that way. I'm more than happy to help people do that. That's not a problem at all.
For sure.
But Go for Real Health Facebook page is one way, or to get in touch with you. I'm sure you can share them how to get in touch with me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jason. I've really appreciated you being on the show today. And good luck. Good luck as you continue to grow from here. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Good day.